River wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. You heartbreaker, dream maker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same end, just around the bend, my huckleberry friend, where the rainbow's bound to end. Moon, river, and me. Hey, Toomies, it's Psychic Bob, also known as Lord Ision. That's my Wiccan name and title. And I've got my buddy Lamb Chop here, and we are just hanging out tonight, aren't we, Lamb Chop? Yeah, are you doing okay? Yeah? Yeah, oh my gosh, look, there's a lot of people here now. Look who's all here. Oh, there's Baroness Colobobs. Hey, Baroness. She's our moderator. There's Robin Boston. Oh my gosh, there's B. LeClaire. There's Robert Stevens. There's Amy Radcliffe. There's Sandra D. There's Amsterdam Soul. There's Nathan Castillo. Hello, Stardust C is here. Gosh, it's good to see all of you. Well, welcome back. So good to see you. Listen, I'm doing much better than last night, and I'm back with you. I apologize for having to end the show so abruptly yesterday. I was having a lot of pain. I've been resting today in between readings, and readings are going gangbusters. I've been working literally all day. So I'm so glad to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you for your concern, your prayers, your support, and thanks for just showing up. Lamb Chop, what are you doing? What are you wearing? Oh my gosh, what's that? That's one of my pieces of jewelry. Lamb Chop has been in my jewelry box again. Oh my gosh, that actually looks good on you. Why are you wearing that? Oh, you want to become a Wiccan, you say. Oh my gosh. Look what Lamb Chop's put on. He stole out of my jewelry box. Here, go up there and show everybody. Lamb Chop's wearing a little pentacle with a little emerald in it. Oh, that's really nice, Lamb Chop. It looks good on you. So are you becoming a Wiccan now? You're interested in Wicca? Oh, well, all right. Well, we're going to talk about some Wiccan stuff tonight. All right. You excited about that? Hey, TVs. Well, Lamb Chop is, he's always getting some out of my jewelry box. Well, that was a nice one because it's a little one. It suits you nicely. You like that, don't you? All right. Well, we're going to talk about that tonight. Well, gosh, it's good to see all of you here. Oh, my gosh. Let's see. There's Nathan Castillo's here. Stardust C. Sandra D. There's TGVG. Hello. There's Lady Jane of the Earl Grey Tea Tribe. Wow, everybody's here, aren't they? Yay. Oh, my gosh. There's B. LeClaire is here. Robert Stevens. How nice to see all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, tonight we're going to talk about magical charms and particularly the pentacle. Because I get a lot of questions about the pentacle. And I thought we'd talk a little bit about that. And also take your WICCA Q A. We're going to do a question and answer. By the way, if you're enjoying this show, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Tell YouTube that you want to keep Psychic Bob around. I heard that they're doing purges of channels. I've been notified for last year I'm on the list, but I'm still here. Let's pray they don't push me off. Your thumbs up will assure the Psychic Bob stays here. All right. Well, Lamb Chop, can you go over there and sit down? Do not lose that pendant. That's an emerald pentacle, okay? All right, here, jump down. All right, there. Make sure that's on secure. Hold on, let me check it. Yeah, all right, you're secure. All right, go over there. Go on. No, stop. Go. Golly, gee, he's a handful. Oh, hey, Tubies. I'm so glad there. All right. Baroness, I just said hello to you. What are you talking about? Baroness thinks that I ignored her. Well, Baroness, I said hello to you. I said you're our moderator tonight. Baroness is here tonight. She's our moderator. She thought that I forgot her. I didn't forget you, Baroness. How can we forget Baroness? She's with us all the time. Anyways, well, I'm glad you guys are here tonight. And I thought we'd talk a little bit about the pentagram, wearing particularly jewelry. Actually, tonight I'm not wearing a pentacle. I'm wearing tonight, but I'll put on a pentacle. I'm wearing my Green Man pendant. This is one of my new pieces of jewelry. You know, I'm always collecting jewelry. This is the Green Man. And the Green Man is the ancient pagan god of nature. He represents the life force of the earth, the plants, the trees, greenery. If you look in his face, you'll see his face. We're going to go out soon and do a walk and look for the Green Man, you know, because sometimes we see him as the seasons change. And as we're into autumn now, we might be able to find some examples. But anyways, I'm wearing that tonight as Lamb Chop's wearing my pentacles. And anyway, so, you know, it's a subject that I oftentimes, let me just show you here. This is my box. You know, I told you I'm a jewelry addict. I have 20 million boxes of jewelry, but this is just my box of pentacles alone. And I thought we'd talk about some of those tonight. Isn't that a cool box? It's a sparkly box. I bought this little jewelry box at Home Depot, or not Home Depot, at Pier 1. Do you guys remember when I used to go to Pier 1 in my vlogs? Well, Pier 1 closed a few years ago, so they're no longer around. But this was one of the jewelry boxes I bought at Pier 1. And I just love it because it's sparkly and it's lined in black velvet. And I keep my pentacles in here. You know, the pentacle is probably one of the least understood symbols of Wicca. And I still get asked this to this day. Sometimes I'll be walking around wearing a pentacle pendant like Lamb Chop. And people say, why are you wearing a Satanist symbol? I said, it is not a satanic symbol. It is not Satanist. The pentacle is the ancient sign of magic and of power. You notice I've got a big 5-point star here. The pentacle or pentagram, the pentagram is the 5-point star. The pentacle is when you put a circle. All right. So if you can't remember that, think of pentacle, P-E-N-T-A-C-L-E. Circle has C-I-R-C-L-E. Pentacle has a C-L-E. So if it has a circle, it's called pentacle. If it's just the star alone, it's a pentagram. All right. So I thought we'd take a look at some of the jewelry I got because they'll always ask me about my jewelry. I'll dump out my jewelry here. Here's my little jewelry case. And look at all that, okay? So let me find just a basic pentagram, pentacle to show you. All right, here's your typical basic Wiccan pentacle. All right. We're going to talk about versions of that. All right, so the pentacle consists of a 5-pointed star. You see that star there? 5 points, just like up here, 5 points. Okay. And because it has a circle around it, it's a pentacle. Now, people say, does it matter if it has a circle or not? No, not really. But what this represents, now there are a lot of meanings. And by the way, if you have a different meaning than mine, that's okay too. Okay. But each point represents an element. So that's like earth, water, fire, air, and then the top point represents spirit. So the 4 elements of the universe are all under the power and blessing of spirit. And then the circle represents that the elements are found throughout the universe and they're unified by love and held together by love of spirit. Now, that's just one interpretation. I heard another person once say that it represents the ancient invocation of the gods. It could be a priest or a priestess raising their arms, legs spread apart, arms raised, looking to the heavens. And this represents the circle of power, as they call the elemental powers to them. So like if you were to stand out under the stars, under the moon, arms and legs spread, and look to the heavens and invoke divine power. This is an old position of invocation. Sometimes it's up like that, sometimes like that. But if you stand in that position, all right, you're like a pentagram or a pentacle. And then when you surround yourself with prayer and power, you create the circle of power. And that's another way to look at the pentacle. And if you look throughout nature, there are a lot of 5-pointed stars. I just the other day was showing Baroness Kolobob's a leaf. Actually, I don't know if I've got it on my phone. Hold on. Let's see if I've got this. I'll show it to you. Because, a lot of people don't realize that the pentagram or the pentacle is actually found. Oops, hold on a second, because I got problems here. It's actually found throughout all of nature. I don't know if I still have this on my phone. I may not. So if I don't, we'll show you next week. Hold on just a second. I don't think I have it still. Let me see. Nah. Well, anyways, if you explore nature, all right, there are 5-pointed stars in nature. And hold on a second, guys. I got to make a note that I'm having some issues right now. Somebody has reset my phone. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it here. All right, somebody's just hacked into my phone and rearranged all my pictures. All right, well, I can't show it to you guys. I'm so sorry. But anyways, if you think about nature, okay, maple leaves are 5-pointed stars. Go out and look at a maple tree. Their leaves are 5-pointed stars. If you look at the flower periwinkle, it's oftentimes called sorcerer's violet. It's a purple flower with 5 leaves. And then think about the other thing, starfish. How many of you ever seen a starfish, right? They're a perfect star. They live in nature. So if you ever get people saying the pentacle is evil or the pentagram is evil, you just say to them, this is what I always say, who made the universe? And usually if it's a devout Christian or another religion, they'll go, God made the universe. I said, did God make everything in the universe? Oh, yes. So God made starfish? Oh, yeah. God made that leaf. Usually when I do this, I'm right by a tree that has a 5-point. I'll pull the leaf out and say, God made that leaf? What shape is that leaf? 5-pointed star. Oh, did God make that little flower? Oh, look, it's 5-petal flower. Yes. So the fact is that the divine manifests through nature, and oftentimes it makes stars. So when the Wiccans wear the sacred star, it's really nothing scary or ominous. It's a reflection of natural power in the cosmos. So anyways, I thought I'd chase some of my pentacle pendants today. So we got that one, okay? You like that? All right. Thank you, Lady Jane. Lady Jane just sent me protection from the Horned Lord. Thank you. Stardust C says, hey, PsychicBob, star anise, is that a pentacle star? Actually, I don't have any star anise here today, but star anise is actually like a 10-pointed star. It's not a 5-point, but it is a star. Star anise is an example of that the divine likes stars. Yes, I would agree, but not a pentagram. But definitely focus on maple leaves. If you're wearing one of these and people attack you, talk about starfish. Nothing else. Ask them about starfish. They can't answer that because the starfish looks exactly like a star. And so tell them, well, how do you know this isn't representing starfish? And then they're stuck. All right. Oh, I have so many types of pinnacles here. Here's one of my beautiful ones I just recently found. I have so many. I've just consolidated them recently from like 5 different boxes of jewelry. Hold on a second, guys. I got some glare on the screen here. Here's one. It's got little jewels inset. Isn't that beautiful? Sparkles. Looks like diamonds. Stardust C says, I have starfish earrings. Here you go. All right, so there's a pinnacle. Here's one I got. I bought this little one at Hobby Lobby. in their jewelry aisle, and I just love it. It looks like little diamonds, just little sparkling jewels, and shielded from the lights, easier to see. How do you like that, huh? Amy said, oh, she said, oh, I love that one. Which one, Amy? This one or this one? Yeah. Now, for those of you who are into ceremonial magic, a lot of the ancient magicians did invocations of God names and spirit names around their pentagrams to bless them. So this is a ceremonial magic one. It says tetragrammaton, which means a four-lettered name of God. It's got some sigils. Your pentacles can be as simple or as complex as you want. Whenever I go to, here's my starfish. Let me show you that. Hey, Star to see. Does this look kind of like your earrings? This is a pendant, but it could also be made into earrings. There's a starfish pentacle. Isn't that great? Amy Radcliffe loves the first one, the diamonds. Cool. All right. Baroness Golubov just said she's going to claim back this pendant. She's going to keep this. You want that pendant, Baroness? All right, you can have that. All right. But so hold on. I think I have here some other. Here's another starfish one that I've got. Star to see. Here's my other starfish. I've got two starfish. Let me show you. I got a thicker starfish and a little thin starfish. There's my little thin one. There's my bigger one. You guys can see that? So starfish. If you're living in an area like the Bible Belt where you really can't openly wear a pentacle or pagan symbols, get yourself a starfish pendant. Nobody's going to argue about that. Just say, oh, I just love starfish. But you and I know it's the sacred symbol of the star of magic. For the ancient Wiccans, the star represented magical power and protection because that top point represents divine power. If divine power is overarching you, you're under the watchful eye of the divine God, goddess, Lord, lady. You're safe. And the God reminds you that he's holding the whole universe together. Okay. So that's some of my natural ones. Now, I have, pentagrams and pentacles can come in all sizes. Here's one of my little tiny ones. You guys can see it. It's a little diamond pentacle. Oops, hold on. You can see that. Can you guys see that? Isn't that beautiful? You don't have to wear a big pentacle. You wear just little tiny ones. And they're very subtle, but you know what they are. I love sparkly things. I have a lot of blinging ones here. Now, if you're one of these people and you're feeling brazen and bold, I like to get it in people's faces sometimes because around my area, people get so preachy. And I'm like, you know what? If you're going to preach your religion, I'm going to preach my religion. I might be stirring the pot a little bit, but hey, here's one of my big pentagrams. I wear this one. I really want to push Wicca and get in their face about it. How you like that one? You can't miss that one, can you, walking around with it? There's a big pentacle. So, when you're talking about jewelry, you have so many options and choices. Here's a little smaller, a little more subtle one, but still a Wiccan pentacle. And your Wiccan pentacles, by the way, do not have to be sterling silver. A lot of mine are sterling silver just because I wear silver and love it, but they can be any material. Okay. Yes, you can have a gold pentacle. Yes, Stardust C was asking if they can be in gold. Yes, you can. They do make gold pentacles as well. I just don't wear much gold. I have most all of mine are silver. There's a pretty one. This is called laser cut or diamond cut, where they cut the metal and they carve designs into it. It makes it sparkle. All right. Here's another one of my large ones when I'm going to be really posh. This is a magical one, another sigil one. This is called the star. So I'm going to take this cord off of it. Hold on, guys. It seems to be the cord's coming off. It broke. All right. Well, I have to take it off later. But this is the Pentacle of Levi, which was used in ceremonial magic. You guys can see that. But it's a pentagram and it has symbols engraved upon it, numbers and stuff. I have to do a whole video on this pinnacle. It's kind of complex. But that's another one with sigils on it. And for those of you who like to add a little color to your pentacles, a little magical color, you know, you can add gemstones to it. Here's one that has a carnelian in it. And I like to wear this on days where I do astrology magic that involves Mars, you know. So that one, now this one's an interesting one because if you turn it to the side, you can see it's domed. It's not a flat one. It's curved, kind of a dome-like structure. It sits up. That's got a carnelian in it, which is one of my favorite stones for Martian power. And then I've got another one like that. Let's see where I put it here. Somewhere. There it is. I've got another one just like it, but it has a moonstone. Moonstones are quite popular in pinnacles. This is a moonstone set in a silver pinnacle. And this is also a domed pinnacle. You see how it's curved? So there's my carnelian, there's my moon. I couldn't decide, so I ended up buying both of them. I am such a sucker when it comes to pinnacles. Whenever I see one that I like, I just buy it, you know. You know, and so what I'd say is, you know, just buy one and see how you like it. You may become like me. I hope you don't become a jewelry addict. This is one I bought years ago, but it's got a little amethyst in it. It's a little tiny silver star with an amethyst set in. Isn't that beautiful? Well, sorry, I'm dropping it. So it's kind of cool how you can have all different types of jewelry, different types of magical things. Let's see here. Here's one of my more recent acquisitions. This is a antique silver pinnacle with hematite set in. Or not hematite, was it? What do they call this stuff? Marcasite, not hematite, marcasite. Marcasite's a shiny little dark stone that's reflective. This is a marcasite pentagram. By the way, speaking of the pentagram, they can be open or closed. So what I'm talking about is like this one here, you can see the lines crisscrossing, all right, and it's an open one. Whereas this one actually is a closed star. It's like just a solid star without the lines crisscrossing. Doesn't matter. As long as it's a 5-point star, it's the magical protection. You see? Now, some of you I know love to do Wicca and you love the ritual calling down the moon. You go out and you praise the goddess. I actually have one of my favorites. This is one of my first pieces of jewelry I bought. It's like over 20 years old now. Of the invocation, drawing down the moon. And this is a priestess out raising and invoking the goddess. Is that cool or what, huh? So I wear that. That's a big one. That also is one of those ones that gets in your face, you know. People notice it. And one day I was wearing it. And this lady comes up to me and she goes, well, you could keep your personal stuff at home. And I said, what are you talking about? And I didn't realize I was wearing this pendant, right? So I'm in the grocery store and she said, I think that's very offensive. And I'm like, I'm a Wiccan. Why is that offensive? And she said, well, that lady's nude and being, you know, promoting her sexuality by being, she actually isn't nude, but she looks kind of nude here. But she's wearing very minimal clothing. And this lady thought it was obscene and actually said something to me in a store. I don't care. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. There's nothing bad about that. And even if she were totally nude, which she's not, though it looks like it. All right. What's wrong with the human body? Are we all not born with the body? I mean, come on. You know? So this one is drawing down the moon. Isn't that wonderful? I also have another drawing down the moon. This one's a little more subtle. This has got the spiral goddess, and it's got a labradorite stone in it. You like that? I tell you, I've been collecting pinnacles for years and years, like over 20 years, you know. Lady Jane of the Earl Grey Treetop says, you don't see many in gold with moonstone. No, that is true. You just don't really see them in moonstone. Gold with moonstone. That would be really pretty to have. I should explore one of those. Baroness Colabob says, I've got a huge pinnacle, LOL. My Bobs hates it because I say to him, Bob, did I show you my pinnacle necklace today? Then show him the same huge pinnacle. And she does every time she gets, I'm like, oh, I want to see it. And then it's the same one. I'm like, oh, you set me up. Thank you, Amy. Amy Radcliffe says, I just love all your jewelry, but thank you. Robin Boston says, I love the tiny one. Oh, Robin, I don't know if you were here at the beginning. Hold on. Lamb Chop, come up here. This is a little one I have with an emerald in it. There you are. That Lamb Chop's wearing today. That's what started this conversation off. Isn't that pretty? That's done in silver with an emerald. Lamb Chop's wearing that one. So that's one of my small ones. Thank you, Lamb Chop. Go over there and sit down. No, don't take any jewelry. Keep going. Go, go, go. Robin, since you like the little tiny ones, here's some more tiny, tiny pentacles. This one's a pentagram. Look at this one, Robin. Very tiny. It's actually sterling. It's got little stones inlaid in it. For those of you who are members of the Order of the Silver Star, these might give you some ideas for your jewelry as well. So there's my little ones. Let's see. I'll put all the little ones together. So there's one of them. Here's another. Well, actually, I think I showed this one. Robin, I don't know if you saw this, but this is my tiny little one with the amethyst in it. It's a little 5-point star in silver with a little amethyst. That's a small one. Oh, here's another pentacle, tiny one. This has a zirconia in it. It's like a little cage with a jewel inside it. Sits behind this open star. So that's another tiny one. So yeah, I got a number of little tiny ones. You don't have to wear a big pinnacle. By the way, as I was talking about the natural ones, another symbol that you can wear is also the star sand dollar. There it is. You guys ever been to the beach seen sand dollars? This is my, let me block the glare here. The lighting really makes it reflective. This is a sand dollar. You'll see these on the beaches. And the sand dollar actually has a natural 5-pointed star built into them. That's a sand dollar like you'd wear at the beach. That's another magical thing that you can wear, you know. Robin said she loves it. Thank you, Robin. So glad you like that. Lamb. Oh, my Baroness just wrote, Lamb Chop thinks that pinnacle is going to protect him from the dinner plate. Shh, don't say that. You'll upset Lamb Chop. Cola, he feels safe. Let him feel safe. Stardust says she loves the star with the purple. This little one, yeah. I like this. I need to wear. I haven't worn this in a long time. I just found it again. You know, I have so much jewelry. So what I've been working on the last few weeks is reorganize my jewelry. So I have I have to have so much. I group it by subjects. Like I have an entire jewelry box just for pentacles and pentagrams. Then I have another box that has like sigil necklaces. And anyways, I group it by subject matter. If you like, magical colors and stuff, I really love Celtic ones. And this one has little emerald green stones in it. I don't know if you can see the green on it. It's got little green stones around the edge, if you can see them. Right there and around the edge, green stones. Sometimes, they say simple is more, less is more. This is one of those cases. This is a very simple one, but this is interesting in that it has a double ring of power. It's supposed to be like kind of even more protective because there's a double ring of power around it. Just very simple lines, but yeah, very elegant, very simple, Here's another one with a green stone in it. This is one of the first pinnacles I ever bought as well. Bought this over 20 years ago. It's made of pewter and it's got a little green glass gem in it. But I love it. Isn't that pretty? That's one. I haven't worn that. I need to put that on, wear it again. I haven't worn that in a long time. For those of you like purple, here's another one I have that has a purple stone in it. Let's see. Oh, Robin, since you like the small ones. Robin says, oh, yeah, I have a sand dollar. Oh, cool. See, Robin, a lot of Wiccans, especially if they do sea magic, like they're sea witches, they'll wear the pentacle as their, sand dollar is their sacred symbol. So that's my silver sand dollar. And here's another little tiny one, Robin. This is one of the first ones I bought as well. The black is a scrying pin. It's made of onyx. It's a domed scrying pendant. Now, I have to be honest, I've tried to scry, and it's a little too small for my taste. But it was sold to me as a scrying pendant. And it also represents the dark moon. There are witches who like to work by the dark moon. They even have dark moon rituals. So they told me that this could be a scrying pin. It also represents the dark moon. And then you flip it over, it's the pinnacle. So that side's flat, that side's curved. But like you could just wear it that way and hide your pinnacle. And you're wearing a pinnacle. If you're in an environment where you can't openly wear a pinnacle, this is one of the hidden pinnacle pendants. Isn't that cool? So there you go. Here's another one of my moonstone pinnacles. This was an earlier, I've had this a long time too. It's sterling silver with a moonstone. You know, Lady Jane, I'd love to find a gold one with a moonstone. That would be rare. Do you have one, or you've heard about it or seen it? Hey, there's Yenny Yen. Hi, Yenny Yen. Welcome. Good to see you tonight. Yenny Yen says, I have a real sand dollar that I found in Fort Myers, Florida. Ah, that's cool. Some people do sea magic, put that on their altar for their actual pentacles as well as the pentacle tool. I love that. Oh, Lady Jane said, mine was sent from Florida and got stolen by a burglar. Oh, yeah. Baroness Kolobob said, that scrying pin is for the Fae, LOL. Actually, yeah, it's probably suited for them to scry with, you know. Hold on, let's see. Here's one that is unique. I bought this one years ago as well. A lot of these are old, but it's made with a guitar pick. Sometimes you'll see this. They'll do guitar pick pendants. And this was a cool kind of a green pearlized guitar pick, which I thought looked kind of retro, kind of 1950s looking. And it's got a little pinnacle, so you can wear that as a pendant as well. A little retro pendant. Here's one that I have. Oops, hold on a second. And it's got a red little jewel in the middle, if you like red. You know. Baroness Kolobob says, the gold with the moonstone is what I want, Bobs. I guess I've been put on notice. I had to find one. That's a really cool idea. You know, Amsterdam says, I like moonstones muchly. That's cool. I do too. Yenny Yen says, sand dollars like sea money. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, it's true. I guess it is. Here's another little one I have that's an elaborate. It's got sigils and number magic and names on it. Just a little. So I bought this one probably almost 30 years ago now. That one's an old one. I bought it at a silver store. It's no longer around anymore. You know me, I'm just a sucker for stars. If we're out shopping, and Baroness, you're going to know this. If we're out shopping and I see a star and I have to have it, ain't nothing stopping me. Doesn't matter if I have to mortgage my house to get a star, I'll do it. I'm terrible like that. Here's another little one. This is just a simple plain one. Sometimes I'm in the mood for, big, elaborate, fancy like this with diamonds inlaid. And sometimes I want just real simple, subtle. That's a simple, subtle one. Done in sterling silver. All right. Now here's one that's kind of neat. I bought this years ago too. A lot of these are old. Can you guys see what's around it? Let's see, do I got the right side up? Hold on a second. I think I'm showing the back side. Yeah, this is the front. It'll be easier to see. Who in the chat can tell me what the symbols are on this one? Do you recognize what that is? Look around the star, the circle. Anybody recognize what this is? Robin Boston said, I think she's talking about the scrum. And she said, that's really nice too. That's cool that you can hide it. Yeah, when I bought this, they said, well, if you're in an office and can't wear a pentacle, you can flip it over. It's made to wear on both sides. This side's just a little black circle, but it actually represents the dark moon. All right. All right, Lady Jane of the Earl Grey Tea Time says, it represents moon, the zodiac wheel or moons. It's actually the moon phases. If you look closely, the top is the full moon, and then they've got the waning and waxing moon going all the way around. Isn't that cool? It's the moon phases. That's right. Yin and Yin's got it too. The moon phases around the pentacle. Yep. So there, that's kind of cool. Now, is there anybody here whose family was into the Masons or you've been a Mason? There's a Masonic group called the Order of the Eastern Star. And I actually bought one of their pendants once. I'm not a Mason, but I just loved it. It's from the 1950s. It's done with mother of pearl and silver inlaid. And it's got the colors of the Eastern Star. And that's actually a Masonic pendant there. Robin says, my Rick would love the guitar pick one. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, he would, wouldn't he? Yeah. Lady Bree says her grandfather was a Mason. Well, tell him that you saw an Eastern Star. That's an Order of the Eastern Star pendant from the 1950s. I just thought that was kind of cool. Oh, here's one that you guys might enjoy seeing. This is a star. I got to polish it. It's dirty, but this is a sterling silver locket pendant. Let me see if I can open it. Hold on. This is kind of hard to open, this pendant. That's why I don't wear this much. I love it, but I can't ever open it. It's really hard to open. You wouldn't think a little pen would be this hard to open, but it is. I might be able to get, hold on a second, guys. Let's see if I can open this. All right. There it is. I got it. All right. So this is a locket, a pendant, a pentacle locket. And it opens. It's a little hinge trap door. And you can put a little magic spell in there or some herbs or a little incense, whatever you want to carry with you for a magical on purpose. And then it seals up and it clicks tight. You can wear that just on a little chain. How you like that? A locket. Lady Jane, the Earl Grey Tea Trub, says, I ain't keen on Masons. And she says, been there unless you're, been that unless you're in the, get rid of it. Well, you know, that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into stuff. I'm not a Mason. I'm not interested in joining the Masons. But I just thought it was a pretty piece of jewelry. I mean, well, no matter what we think about the Masons aside, this is a pretty piece of jewelry. So I'm not going to throw it away, but I'm not going to probably wear it. I just bought it as a novelty. Okay. There's Angela Prayer Poems. Hi, Angela. Welcome. I'm showing some of my pentacle jewelry tonight, talking about the magic of the pentagram. Here, if you want to be big and yet subtle at the same time, this is an interesting one, pentacle that I have. It's kind of subtle. You can't hardly see it's a 5-point star, but it's got a beautiful design, almost like Tudor rose design. And it's pretty big. You can wear it like, you know. But Angela Purpose says, oh, pentacles, they're such an amazing symbol. They are, you know. Now, because I'm crazy about my pentacles, sometimes I even wear bracelets and rings. This is one of my pentacle bracelets that somebody gave me a few years ago as a gift. And I just wrap it around and clip it. It's a nice little bracelet. Okay. Angela Prayer Poem says, I always tell people it's my wishing star. I wish for the bad vibes to go away. They do. And it's in the circle so the points don't poke me. I love that. It's in a circle so the points don't poke you. That's a really great explanation. By the way, here's one of my other treasured ones. I wear this one quite a bit. It's a large sterling silver pentacle. It's interlaced. You'll notice how the star, the lines crisscross. In traditional Wicca, when they do this as a graphic, they usually have it, it's called an interwoven pentacle. And the interweaving is kind of like knot making to bless and protect you from evil. See how one part crosses over and one crosses under on each section? Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Robin Boston says, yes, my grandfather was a Mason. Grandma was Eastern Star, and I was a Job's daughter. All right, so Robin, you recognize that pendant probably. Yeah. Here's one of my earliest pentacles. This might actually been, it might have actually been the very first one I bought, like back in the 1990s. It's done in sterling silver. And that's a one that I wear and I love. I've been doing Wicca since the late 90s. So a lot of this jewelry is going on like 20-some years old. I think that was the very first pentacle I got. Now, if you like the star but want to wear something a little less obvious, this is actually from New Mexico, and it's Native American Navajo jewelry. It's done sterling silver with real turquoise inlay. I got to polish it up. But again, the 5-pointed star is always a magical symbol, you know. Baroness Kolbub says, I had those bracelets. I wore them on your live on the 22nd December last year. Did you, Baroness? I'm trying to remember. Anyways, I just found this. It was stored in a box. I've had it for years and just found it. I didn't even remember that I had it. Angela Prayer Pump says, what metal do you prefer when it comes to your pentacles? I'm pretty much a silver person. I love sterling silver. I like pewter as my second best. But I'm pretty much normally a sterling person. Like that's sterling. That's sterling. This big one is sterling. I have so many pentacles. I got tons. So yeah, and then here's another one I was going to show you. This one is especially unique. For many of you who have studied the British mythologies, there's a wonderful place in Glastonbury called Glastonbury, England. And they have a sacred well there. It's sacred to the goddess called the Chalice Well. And they make pendants of the cover of the Chalice Well. It's 2 intersecting circles. They also did a Wiccan version of the Chalice Well cover where they put pentagrams inside the Chalice Well symbol. You see you've got 2 circles crisscrossing. This is the Chalice Well cover with pentagrams inlaid. You guys seen Chalice Well? You might want to look that up. Look up Glastonbury Chalice Well. This is one of my favorites. This is sterling silver as well. When I go to Glastonbury one day, I'm going to wear this and dip it in the holy water of Glastonbury. Oh, Robin, since you love tiny little pinnacles, here's another one I just found. Here's a little tiny pentacle. Isn't that cute? This is like my large one. This one I think is pewter. My large one is sterling. Hold on, where did I just lose it here? I got so much on my table, I can't see anything. Here it is. Where'd it go? All right. So I think this was the very first pentacle. I'm pretty sure it was that I bought like over 20 years ago. And then I got a little version of it as well. So there's a tiny little subtle one. But it's like the big one, but just tinier. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to share with you some of my jewelry. I thought it might give you some ideas. Seeing as Lamb Chop's all into being Wiccan these days, he seems excited about it all. Oh, here's another one I got. This is a cool one. This has a cobalt glass sphere in it. Isn't that cool? This could be like a crystal for scrying. You see, it's a full crystal ball inside of it. So, I tell you, think about, when you want to wear a pinnacle, you can be very creative. Take your time, look around. There's no rush to, buy them. You can always find one. Here's one that's got a little moon in the middle and little emeralds on the points. This one's made of pewter. So as I said, there's always something new and fun to discover in magical jewelry. I know somebody here tonight's going to call me up in a few months and cuss me out. And they're going to say, Lord Ision, you are in trouble. I said, what'd I do? They said, you got me addicted to collecting magical jewelry. Now every week I'm buying something. Just remember, I bought all of these over a 20-year period. It wasn't all in a week. But whenever I see a pinnacle that I like, I'm a sucker for it. And I can't get it. Here's another one with emeralds in it. The Celtic knot and emeralds and the moon. I tell you, if there's a pinnacle and it exists, I bet you I know about it. Or I'm going to find out. Oh my gosh. So tell me, do you guys wear pinnacles? Do you collect them? Are you addicted to them like I am? Hopefully not. I've always told Cola, I said, I'm becoming a minimalist in everything in my life except for jewelry. I don't think I can give up my jewelry, and I don't want to, and I don't feel it hurts my life. Minimalism, and I'm not here to preach on minimalism, but if we're talking about it, minimalism is about streamlining your life, getting rid of the excess and the clutter. And I've been working on that. I'm really cleaning out my house, all the junk and unnecessary stuff. And I'm keeping everything very simple and streamlined, except for my jewelry collection, which will probably keep growing, But it's just one of my passions. I just love it. And I'm always endlessly fascinated. You know that. Amy Radcliffe says, I had pinnacle silver earrings. Ooh, I love that. Angela Prayer Poem says, if you ever get down to the Renaissance Fair, they usually have a jewelry store where they will strike you a custom jewelry and you can choose the metal and the symbol. Oh, I got to go to that. Oh, here's one of my rings that's sitting up in my pinnacle box. One of my pewter rings that's got a pinnacle in it. I've loved the symbol of the pinnacle. Since I first became a Wiccan and I found the symbol, it really spoke to me. And I really believe that people who follow spiritual life should discover for themselves a sacred symbol that means something. I still like to wear crosses, even though I'm not a traditional type of, Catholic or Christian anymore. To me, the cross also is mystical. It has a lot of meanings beyond just the crucifixion. But if I had to choose my favorite symbol, it's really the pinnacle. Because to me, the pinnacle represents life. It's prayer, it's power, it's invocation, it's life force, it's universe. I think it's as sacred as any other symbol. Oh, here's another one I show. Here's a gold pinnacle that I have, guys. I haven't shown you that. It's hard to see on the lighting here. It's not, I don't have good lighting for this, but in better lighting, you could see it. But it's a gold pinnacle pentagram with a silver moon inlaid. It's hard to see, but it's actually gold. It doesn't look gold on camera, but the star itself is actually gold and the moon is silver. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. B. Leclerc says, I wear mine almost every day. My pentacle and a black crystal on a long chain. And I like to keep hanging close to my heart. Sometimes inside my top, sometimes underneath it. Outside, sometimes under it. Yeah, by the way, that's a good point to bring up, B. Leclerc. People say, well, I live in an area where I love to wear a pinnacle, but I can't wear it openly. Can I wear it under my clothing? And the answer is absolutely yes. Don't put your life, your job, your family in jeopardy. Because I hate to say it, but the truth is we do still have a very prejudicial, I shouldn't say country, in some areas of the United States, at least. I won't speak for the rest of the world. But in the United States, we do have some areas that are so fanatically Christian that they would sooner attack you and physically harm you than see you just simply wear a piece of jewelry. It's sad, but it is true. Where I live, it's pretty cosmopolitan, and most times people don't care. But even here, occasionally somebody will approach me and want to have a discussion about my pinnacle and get in my face about it. I usually put them in their place, but because I don't feel like I have to tolerate their bigotry, you know. Now, that's different, though, also than people just asking questions. Sometimes people come and say, innocently, is that a satanic symbol? And then you'll just know. Are they being trouble? And I'll say, no, it's not a satanic symbol. Like, oh, I've seen people wear it, but I don't know what it means. Those type of people, answer them. Spend time, teach them. You might help their life, you know. Because the truth is that this is a sacred symbol of the Wicca. And for those of us who wear it, it does have a lot of meaning. Maybe you'll help somebody's life improve through teaching them about our sacred symbol. Now, I know another question I'm going to get. I'm anticipating. Somebody said, well, I'm not a Wiccan, but I love the pinnacle. Can I wear it? And my answer to that is absolutely yes, because the pinnacle at one time was a protective symbol that was worn by even people that weren't necessarily religious. But they may have had a little belief that somehow it was protective, and it is. It is protective. But I also say, you know, you shouldn't wear sacred symbols unless, one, you understand the meaning, and two, you actually will be respectful. Sometimes I wear a Star of David. I'm not Jewish, but I know the sacredness of the symbol, and I wear it in a magical way as a Wiccan. Or I'll wear a cross. Sometimes you'll see me wear a cross, and we're like, well, you're a Wiccan. You can't wear the cross. Well, there are a lot of Wiccans who use the cross in rituals and magic. So it does have a magical history as well, you know. Stardust C says, hey, Psychic Bob, I wear everything, cross, Virgin Mary, and Jesus pendants. I think that's fine. Wear what speaks to you. Because at the end of the day, these charms that we wear are to remind us of where our power and our true blessings come from. So if Mary and Jesus send blessings to you, by all means, wear their symbols. You know, I don't have a problem with that, you know. Angela Prayer Poem says, I got good comments on my first magical necklace. It wasn't a pinnacle, it was a moonstone with a fae-like witch's face. Ooh, that sounds cool. Well, why not wear it, right? You know, in fact, tonight is the night of the full moon. I think I'm gonna wear my drawing down the moon pendant. I should have worn this earlier today. I'm gonna wear that tonight. And I'll stir up some local problems when I go to the stores. I swear you should have been there. That lady comes up and says, I think that necklace is inappropriate. There are children about, and you've got nude women. And I said, is there something wrong with the body? Don't you have a body? You're a woman. And then I didn't say it, but I was about to say, you're just jealous because you're like 800 pounds and this woman's kind of slim and hot. But I didn't say it because I'm not a mean person, but I attempted. She was getting in my face. Anyways, wear what you want, you know, but wear it with reverence. I would say also, if you want to wear a pinnacle, consecrate it if you can under the light of the moon. It's a symbol of the goddess. And so it's traditional to consecrate silver jewelry, under the full moon. Lady Witch says, Bob's going to CVS. Actually, it wasn't in CVS. It was at I don't know if I should say this, or I don't know what this meant. It was a grocery store. I'll just say that. It was in a grocery store, and a lady came in and said, I think that needs to be put at home, kept at home. And I thought, boy, you got a lot of nerve, lady. You don't even know me coming up. And she says, in that nude woman, and then you're promoting Satanism. I thought, oh my God. She said, I suppose that's what you wear when you all sacrifice women on your altars. I said, first of all, I'm not Satanist. This is a Wiccan star, not a satanic star. And yes, the woman looks nude, but she's not. And she is quite beautiful, and I like her. So there you go. She didn't like that. But don't back down. Don't let anybody intimidate you. You know what? You also want to remind people if they attack you for wearing a pinnacle in public. You say, excuse me, when did freedom of religion leave this country? Excuse me, I believe the First Amendment of the United States Constitution guarantees freedom of religion, all religions. And that is the truth. That it's not illegal to be Wiccan. Wicca is actually protected by the constitutional rights. Nobody has the right to deny your religion or take it from you. So don't let anybody push you around. You stand and fight for the pinnacle, unless it's dangerous. Now, let me just say this. Don't please, and I really mean this, don't put yourself in danger to be a hero for Wicca. Wicca, we don't need heroes. For many years, we've survived by being underground. You can hide your pinnacle if you want. It doesn't make you a coward. It just means you're wise. Sometimes it's not worth the fight. If I know, like, for example, I got invited by one of my friends a few years ago to Catholic Mass with them. I didn't wear my pinnacle to Catholic Mass. I could have gone and said, oh, I'm a Wiccan, I'm here. But it would have made a lot of drama. I just put on my Catholic pin in a Virgin Mary because she's a goddess figure. And I was honoring the goddess and yet being able to mix among the Catholics without a fight. I just think we got to get along. And some people aren't ready to grow and learn. And you don't have to put yourself in that, Hi, Melinda. Melinda Torney says she probably was one of those people that want you to think like them. Oh, she was. Actually, she really was. Angela Prayerbo says, no offense to anyone named Karen. I'm not sure why they named a person being a jerk a Karen. I don't know either, but I know what you're talking about, the Karen videos. This lady was definitely a Karen. She wanted to stop. Like, she wasn't even like near me. She was across the aisle. And she was standing across. This is such a hilarious story. And she's pointing at me. And I was like, I thought, oh, maybe something falling out of my cart or something because I was in a grocery store. I'm looking around. She said, I want to talk to you. And I said, oh, at first I'm thinking it's a YouTube fan or somebody saw me on TV. I said, oh, hi, yeah, how are you? Well, sir, you need to be done with that. You need to put that away. Keep that at home. That doesn't need to be in public. I'm like, what? And she's pointing. I'm like, oh, you're talking about my necklace. Yeah. And she said, that is enough of that. And I was like, what? I think it's inappropriate. Young children, you're flaunting nudity. It's not appropriate. I said, well, actually, she's not nude. She's wearing like it's like a bikini style outfit if you look. Here, I'll show you. She's not nude. And the lady then didn't know. And then she goes, in that star, that satanic symbol, I suppose you love to have nude women on your altars. And I said, no, we're not. I'm a Wiccan. She said, it's the same thing. I said, no, they're totally different religions. But anyways, she was just on and on about this necklace. And I just wasn't bad. I was not in the mood to be friendly that day, and I just laid it on the line. Anyways, you don't have to do that. But, maybe it'll wake some people up, Lady Jane of the Earl Grey Tea Trap says, thinking isn't allowed anymore, Belinda. Yeah, that's true. The people want to just dumb down everything, Lady Witch says, that's no fun. You should have asked her how she knows about the naked women on the altar. But you are much nicer than... She's been watching too many Hollywood movies is what it was. Oh my gosh. Baroness Gulliver says, have you saw them Karens? They are bloody mental. Yeah, go look up Karen videos later tonight, guys. it'll either anger you and disgust you beyond which it'll make you die laughing. It's like sometimes you watch his videos and I'm like, I just want to slap that capital B. And then sometimes it's like, it's so hilarious that the people, like nowadays when I run into Karen, it might catch me off guard, but I end up usually just laughing in their face, and that really sets them off. Baroness Kolobos was with me at lunch one day, and I was doing a YouTube video, and this lady decided to get all righteous on me and come up and have a word. I don't appreciate you using that camera in public. I said, well, that's the issue, man. We're in public. And she just went off, and there's nobody in the restaurant. She was at the far end of the restaurant, but she saw me doing my video and filming myself talking about my lunch, and she had to get involved. Yeah, there are Karens everywhere, you know. Amy Radcliffe says, I would have held that necklace out in front of me, like to hold the cross out in front of like she was Dracula. Yeah, I could have done that. I could have said, I put the curse of the Wicca on you. I rebuke you in the name of the goddess. I could have done that. I'm going to remember that. Oh my gosh. Lady Jane says, I wonder what she's like in an art gallery. She's probably never been to an art gallery. I don't think she's that sophisticated. Baroness remembers that lady approaching. Baroness says, oh my God, I went mental. I said, Bob, tell her to F off. That's all I'll say. Yes, she did. Mark Jones. Hi, Mark. Mark says they repel from love. I know. You know, if you really know about the Wiccan rituals, the drawing down the moon is about communing with the goddess, bringing her into your life to heal you and bless you. It's actually it's a very loving symbol, you know. So I'm wearing my drawing down the moon pendant tonight. Angela Prayer Poem says, I had someone comment tarot cards were evil when I was sitting having lunch in Arby's. It was an angel-themed oracle. I flipped the next card, and it was Archangel Michael. That put them in their place. It's like, how are they going to argue against that? Angela says, they went quite dead and walked off. I just smiled. I love that. Oh, my God. Lady Jane says, yeah, Bob, just rebuke her the next time. I'm going to remember that. Oh, my gosh. Isn't that an adventure? Well, guys, do you have any questions tonight? I'm going to wrap it up soon because I have to have dinner and get some work done. By the way, just to remind you guys, this Saturday, you can still register. Register if you can before Friday. Psychic development class. I'm teaching a class on Saturday on spirit photography. If you want to learn about the history of photography and how it was used in spiritualism and how you can use it to capture phenomena, come join our class on Saturday. 2-hour live training seminar on Zoom. You can go to my website, PsychicBob.com, and register. It's $30. Now listen, you're not going to get training by any of America's top psychics for that low of a price. I keep it low so that people can join. I charge a little bit because I got to pay for Zoom and my website, but I try not to, I'm not gouging people for 2 hours of training for only $30. It's a pretty good price. So I hope you'll register for that. I'm going to send out an email later tonight. Okay. All right. Lady Jane says, yeah, Bob, I have a question. Lady Jane says, is it okay to layer pendants? I think so. I feel like wear whatever you want. If it's sacred to you and you understand it and it has meaning, yes. There's Stephanie Loaiza. Hi, Stephanie. Yay, you're live. I'm live. Yes, I am. So, yes, Lady Jane, go ahead and wear as many as you want. I usually just wear one because I like simplicity. But there have been times when I've worn like 3 or 4 pendants. So, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Stardust C says, hey, Psychic Bob, when will you do a video on drawing down the moon? Probably not till springtime, to be honest with you. It's going to be too cold, and it's best on a warm night to do that when I can stand out in my robes and really do it properly. We'll see. Amy Radcliffe has a question, and she says, what do you think about spells to get rid of people who bother you? I think a banishment spell is a fair way to defend yourself. One of the simple ways that a lot of the old witches used to do is they would just burn black candles to neutralize enemies. Black doesn't destroy, it's not black magic. Burning black candles means it absorbs the energy coming at you and it just weakens it down, neutralizes it. So if people are bothering you, they're sending out negative vibes, they're draining you, burn black candles. That'll slow that down and it'll put you in a place of protection. They have a number of spells, Amy, like called move-on spells or hot foot spells, particularly in the hoodoo community where they get people motivated to move on. I don't think they're bad. I think sometimes people need to move on. So, yeah, you can do it. As long as we're not talking about getting rid of them in a permanent way, like we're going to kill them. No, we don't want to do that. But we can help people move along or neutralize their energy so they're no longer influencing us. I think that's fine. Lady Jane says, great. I like to layer them, Bob. Perfect. Wear whatever you want. Be stylish. Have fun with it. You'll never hear Psychic Bob say, don't wear extra jewelry. All right. Angela Prayer Poems asks, any recommendations to enhance drawing down the moon? I'm always looking for tips to improve that ritual. I love it very much. I think the thing that most people miss when they're trying to draw down the moon is I think they go into it trying too hard. One of the things is, if you might want to read up on channeling. There's a wonderful book called Opening to Channel by Sanaya Roman, R-O-M. Just look up Opening to Channel and then Roman. You can remember R-O-M-A-N. That book teaches you about the concept of channeling. And I believe that the best drawing down of the moon, the drawing down of the moon is really a channeling ritual. Because you're invoking the goddess, you're drawing her into you're prophesying maybe, or bringing her presence through. It's really a channeling. So if you understand channeling, then you can start to draw down the moon in a more profound way. Where people run into problems with that is they do it from an intellectual place. So they go, okay, I got to remember the ritual. I got to remember. And they're not letting the goddess come through. They're getting trapped in their head. Drawing down the moon is a heart thing. It's a spirit thing. It's not an intellectual thing. So study channeling, and that will make it easier. All right. Good question. Yes. Baroness says binding works well. I've done one with Jamie last year. Yes, sometimes binding. I will just say when we talk about binding spells, they may stop the person's action, but the danger of a binding spell that backfires is that the person won't leave your world. They may not be doing the action, but you can't get rid of them. Sometimes we can bind ourselves to the situation. Not intentionally, but it happens. So, Lady Jane says banishing is self-defense. Banishing is, in my opinion, better than binding. That's just me. I'm not saying you have to see it that way. All right. Explore it for yourself and find out. But banishing is better, in my opinion. Lady Witch says, Amy, she's talking to Amy. I tend to bless them up and bless them out. No harm to them, just a better option for them to move far away from me. Lady Witch, I understand. I've done that as well. Bless our enemies. Jesus said, and I may sound like a preacher, but I am a minister. But Jesus said, pray for those who persecute you. And I used to say, well, that's great. He's divine. He can do that. I'm not going to pray for people. But really what Jesus was teaching us, and all people really, was a formula. When you pray for your enemies, you're raising divine power. You're invoking spirit on them. So bless them up, absolutely, and bless them out. When you put spirit around them, if they're evil, they can't stand that. They'll just get away from you. Yeah, bless them up and bless them out. I love that. That's a great way to look at it. Yeah. Amy Radcliffe says, I have a Nevermore black candle. I have to look that up. Binding spell. Thanks. Yeah, black candles are powerful. They'll neutralize anything. Amy says, I have a couple of people work that irks my soul. Don't we all have that? Golly jeepers, I know. Lady Jane says, if you do a binding, make sure to bury it far away from where you live through binding. Yes, I agree. Baroness says, when you're finished, just throw it in the river. If you live near a river. I live near a river. I could do that, but not everybody has a river. Lady Jane agrees with that. Said, yeah, a river sorts it out. Lady Jane says, another way is to raise your own energy high enough so they can't reach you. That's really good. I agree with that. Stardust, he says, hey, PsychicBob, have you ever done an astral travel video? If I did, it's been years ago. I'd have to look. I don't remember. I have over 1,000 videos online. Maybe like 2,000 now. I usually don't teach. I don't think I have, to be honest with you, because that's such a complex thing. I don't feel it's safe to do it unless you're properly trained. And I'm not sure that that's the best skill to teach through video. I think you need to work one-on-one with somebody. That's my personal belief. So actually, I don't think I have done a video on that. Anyways, well, listen, guys, I am going to wrap it up tonight. I hope that you've enjoyed being here. I've had a lot of fun. And thank you for joining us for Wiccan Wednesday. Listen, be here tomorrow for Thursday. We're going to try to do a seance tomorrow night at 7. Oh, I forgot. Oh, Cole, I forgot to send out the notice. For those of you who are in the Order of the Silver Star, we're going to have a short emergency meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll send out an email tonight on that. Okay. Anyways, if you can be there. All right. So I'll send that out tonight. Listen, guys, thank you for being here. PsychicBob loves you. The night is young. The moon is beautiful. Let's go draw down some energy and be blessed by the magical pentacle, sign of the goddess. I thank you for being here. And I hope wherever you are, you're having a blessed night. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m., same time as this, for the Saturday or Thursday. I don't know what day, but Thursday night seance. We'll see you then. You guys rock. Thank you for being here. You guys rock. I love you, and we'll see you, and blessed be. Good night.